How's it going? I'm Zach.
And I'm Hudson.
And we're gonna fight about Batman today.
Yep.
Which, I mean, if you saw the
this movie really got a rise out of me.
I'll kill you right now, Hudson. If this is all gonna be Batman related, I'll kill you right now.
Oh, goody. Okay. But I would like to start with a small nitpick. Not the big problem.
No, go
But I would like to start with one small nitpick. So Bane's just robbed the stock train, right?
Yeah.
Correct. They have security footage of him doing this, correct? So, in the scene after the big chase, you're in Commissioner Gordon's hospital room, and he goes, "You need to find a man in the sewer." And the commissioner goes, "This mystical man in the sewer." Meanwhile, they have security footage of him robbing the New York Stock Trade Center, and yet they still do not believe he even exists.
Yep.
This is basically my summation of what is wrong with the movie.
Okay. No. I now know where you're going with your main attack on the movie, and I'll combat it. In the sense that the problem that most people had with The Dark Knight Rises, as opposed to The Dark Knight was very concise in its feel, and it made a lot of sense. Like, everyone reacted realistically. Dark Knight Rises, as much as I hate to say it, almost was like a throwback to like the old Batman series. And like, bear with me on this, seriously, bear with me on this. Because like the police force is so fucking ignorant. The entire movie, like that was the whole entire point. The whole point of this movie was more or less a reflection of society as a whole at this point. And I know it sounds like I'm stretching, but because the police force is so like into this concept of the Batman killing Harvey Dent, who was the hero of Gotham at that point. He was the man who was bringing in all this change and all these laws that cut down crime like astronomically for Gotham, which is one of the most crime-ridden cities in the country for the Batman universe at least. And so like that's the aftermath of it. The police force is so dumbed down and so completely like oblivious at this point. They really only care about killing the Batman. Like that's the problem. And Commissioner Gordon knows who Batman is, obviously. He got to know him over the years. He doesn't know he's Bruce Wayne, but that happens at the end of the movie. Which I like that, those are the problems I had with the movie, more or less. It was just, oh, now he gets that it's Bruce Wayne. Oh my god, now he gets it.
He's the only one who never figured it out.
The only one who didn't figure it out. Bruce Wayne. Are you kidding? Friggin' Joseph Gordon, like the guy in 10 Things I Hate About You. Or
Robin figured it out quicker.
Robin figured it out quicker than Commissioner Gordon. Are you kidding me? But yeah, no, that's more like the whole movie is the aftermath of Dent. Like that's the whole thing, and I don't think a lot of people saw it in that way. They were more looking for Bane to be like really the main drive in it, but in reality, Bane was just a piece.
Pawn.
Yeah, exactly. He was just a piece in the chess game.
Okay. That's really interesting. I hadn't thought of it in that regard, but now that I see that, I'm looking back at what The Dark Knight was, and I'm looking back at what Batman Begins was.
Suddenly it makes a whole lot more sense.
It could, but something I have a problem with The Dark Knight, and what leads into the problem with The Dark Knight Rises. The Dark Knight, for all intents and purposes, the majority story of the Joker is filler. In the universe of these three films, it's almost nightly referenced.
I know.
In the last one, which makes me believe that the cops in the second one, who were acting much more intelligently and much more responsibly than the last film, did the last film need to be made the way it was? Did they need to make this message about how stupid the cops are and how it affects everyone? Is this a story about Batman that needed to be told? I mean, we already kind of got that from all the old cartoons, and it really doesn't change anything since then.
Here's the problem, though. Heath Ledger died.
That's
the problem. Then, like, that's one of my, like, I'll go into my whole, like, I guess, what I find wrong with Dark Knight Rises. Because don't get me wrong. I mean, I have my problems mainly with the ending, but also the complete and total lack of anything Joker post-politics.
Other than the fact that he's hurt.
Other than the fact that he's hurt. Like, I mean, at this point, I think the movie did a good job at, like, saying, like, oh, well, the Joker could be anywhere at this point. And I guess it's just presumed he's in jail or something. I don't know. Like, it's never referenced at all.
He was killed at the end of Dark Knight.
No. Batman left him hanging and, and,
I keep getting him in the Tim Burton Dark Knight mixed up.
Yeah, exactly. Nicholson died.
Yeah, but I keep seeing Heath Ledger in the place where Joker was. Like, in the place where Jack Nicholson was.
Oh, okay. No.
In my mind, it's Heath Ledger.
Yeah. No. Like, Joker lives at the end of Dark Knight.
So that's why I never really understood.
Like, and I mean, it makes a lot of sense. And, like, it's possible, like, there's a cut of The Dark Knight where Joker, like, definitively dies, but they decided not to use it because Heath Ledger passed away in his sleep, and they were like, well, no, can't use that ending anymore, because,
Check the DVDs for that alternate ending.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, so, I mean, that's the problem, and which is why I don't necessarily regret the lack of Joker in Dark Knight Rises, but I mean, at the same time, it can't help but be noticed because there is a distinct lack of anything post-Joker in Dark Knight Rises.
There's no reference, it's just the outcome. It could have been anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that the point? That's the point.
But again, I suppose that could be argued that that's the point too. I know that's what you just said, but
yeah.
Because that does make a lot of sense that, like, it could just be anyone who's doing all this chaos. Like, it doesn't need to have a face, more or less, and that relates to...
But that's not what Joker's about.
But that's what Batman was about. He was more of a symbol.
But the Joker isn't a symbol.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, the Joker isn't a symbol. Like,
the movie portrays him though as one.
To a degree. I mean, like...
That's what you're saying, where he could have been anyone. He's the symbol, like, in the same way. But...
Is that what it's just... Saying?
That's not
what we have like 3 different track lines. Whoa, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I mean, I don't know. I like that. I suppose
the Joker is simple in your mind.
No. I don't think he is personally.
He's a personal character. He has his own. You know, there can't be a replacement for the Joker. It's not like Joker and this guy. No, it's Joker.
It's not like
Joker is not
place in that movie.
Yeah, but Joker's philosophy, that's more what I'm talking about, I guess. Is that
okay, yeah, I can buy that.
Like, that's more or less what I'm going with it. I probably should have started.
Because if you were going for the Joker as just a symbol, I'd be
No, man.
Do you know Batman?
Oh, yeah, no. I'm talking like Joker's philosophy is that, like, anyone can do this.
Okay, but getting back to The Dark Knight Rises. It does have a lot of plot holes, like over and over and over again, and that's something that bugs me in a film. It's not the fact that it does have the plot holes, but it's the fact that while sitting there, I was so just, mildly entertained that I could point out plot holes, that I even realized they were there. It just doesn't have that kind of depth where it invests all of me in the entire film. Like, I'm still sitting there going, this is a movie, this is what's wrong with it. I
didn't feel about that the same way. I mean, I saw it twice, and both times, I mean, it didn't feel like a 2.5-hour movie. I was able to sit through it no problem. I enjoyed myself both times. Again, I'll get much my nitpicking now, I guess, because here are my main problems with the movie.
Let's hear this.
The main problems all involve the ending. What the hell, man? This is the last Christopher Nolan Batman movie. We're gonna end on that weak shit? Are you kidding me? No. First of all, my Bane's ending. That was awful. Oh my god. One shot from Catwoman and then he's dead? Are you kidding? He was built up as this demigod the entire movie. Like, the fact...
Sorry, Bane was a really stupid choice for the villain to begin with. I'm just saying. I don't know.
No! Have you read Nightfall?
No, I haven't.
Read Nightfall and then come talk to us about Bane. Bane is a really,
The
problem is that Bane is most remembered in Batman and Robin being like, pretty much.
Like,
pretty much.
Bane is the perfect choice there. It's just not Bane. It's not Bane on screen. It's a silly voiced buff wrestler. That's not Bane. It's not.
Bane's a wrestler, and he didn't really get portrayed as a wrestler so much as like a terrorist.
Bane's not a wrestler.
That's what I was like.
No, he just wore the mask, dude. He was never.
Really?
Yeah, he was never a
You're
wrestler.
thinking of another guy.
I can lie to. Apparently so. No, dude. Bane, like if I'm not mistaken, his backstory is pretty much what was in the movie. Because, like, Talia did, like, the whole Ra's al Ghul thing. Which, okay, that brings me to my, I'll finish the whole Bane spiel, I guess. What I think could have made the movie, like, that much cooler and added that much more depth to the relationship between Batman and Bane, because that wasn't so much as defined as I would have liked it to been, and I thought they could have really defined that with the ending. I think Bane should have, like, come back. Batman's in the bat. He's fucking rescuing to save the city. Oh my god, what's going on? Bane just comes from the side of the bat. I don't know how. Fuck physics and shit. Punches through the goddamn window. Just starts wailing on Batman. This is no longer about whether the city gets destroyed or not. This is Bane just fucking taking it out on the one person to a degree, the one symbol at the very least, who took down his entire plan to make a better world. In the same sort of Watchmen sort of sense. Like, I think that could have brought out the movie, just that made that ending way more
really
intense. Second, Talia al Ghul. I don't think she should have died. I think she should have been pregnant with Batman's kid. I'm not even kidding. In Batman and Son, it becomes clear that Bruce and Talia have a kid. Like, they have Damian Wayne, and that pretty much leads into Grant Morrison's Batman and Robin.
Love interest, if you read the comic or anything.
Well, no, exactly, yeah.
That's not even portrayed like in the movie.
No, not at all. That's what I mean.
It's a one-night stand.
It's a one-night stand, but it could have been awesome if, like, let's say at the end of the movie, and I know DC doesn't do this shit because Marvel only ever does it, and I think that's retarded because this could have made the movie friggin' awesome. If there was this one scene where it was just Talia and, like, she's at the doctor's office getting repaired for, like, all the damages, like, after that whole giant fucking fight and whatnot. Like, if it was just, like, you seem to be alright, but you're pregnant. Like, oh my god, are you kidding me? Like,
how would that go? Because
it wouldn't go anywhere.
But Christopher Nolan would be doing anything, so
yeah,
someone else would have to fucking do it.
That's why you read the fucking comic books, George, so you can figure out what happens.
He does it anyways with Robin becoming the next Batman. He implies that when Robin goes to the fucking water.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you should use your real name. I like it, Robin. Yes,
that sucks.
Yeah,
he said he wasn't going to bring in Robin. I was not impressed by that.
Robin
I think he should have just been John Blake. Go on.
Robin is an X-Men. I would like to point this out. He looks at Bruce Wayne at the orphanage for like a split second when he's surrounded by dames and goes, "That's Batman." When did he jump to this assumption? That is wildly irregular. Was he like a Batman figure for the orphanage? Was he solving crimes and beating up the bullies?
Well, actually,
he has no jump to. He has no personal feelings. He never thought,
Hudson, are you fucking kidding me? Alright, like, okay.
How can you look at Batman?
No. This is a problem I have with the Christopher Nolan Batman movies in general. How does no one know he's Batman? That didn't make any goddamn sense to me. Really? The billionaire playboy with fucking girls on his arms suddenly just disappears for a few seconds during his fucking party, and no one gets that he's Batman after Batman shows up after a couple minutes. Don't you combat that? That doesn't make any goddamn sense whatsoever.
Exactly. Yeah, but how does the orphan know?
How does the orphan know? Because he has a fucking brain, man! Like, that's what he's the first person to get it.
One, this is happening in the same universe where someone can go around wearing glasses and no one figures out he's Superman. Just want to say that. And then the other thing is, if Robin was at an orphanage as a kid and noticed by just a look that Bruce Wayne was Batman, how old is technically Robin? Because there was only like the 8-year hiatus, and then like how long was the time period between Batman?
Is it said? Like, I don't remember this. Is it said how old he is when he's in the orphanage? Because
it implies that he was a kid.
But at this, I don't know. I thought it implied that he was like at least
or young enough to actually be in an orphanage.
11 or 12. Like I would say he wouldn't be much more than early teens when he was in the orphanage. I would say like 13. 14.
And then he had like 3 years of getting into the like 5 years or something of getting into the
Something like that. That wasn't a part.
It took me 6 years to get to detective.
That wasn't a huge thing.
How old do you think? 26, 27, something like that. He's supposed to be portrayed as these. I don't know. That just doesn't make sense if you think about it. Sorry.
Here's my third problem with the ending, and this is the last problem I have. Batman should have lived. Bruce Wayne should have died. Why the hell did Bruce Wayne live and Batman die? This is my only, well, he's Batman comment, but I think it should have been used to the advantage of the movie. I think the ignorance of the public should have been exploited that, little step further for the most part. They would still think that they still have, this Cape Crusader looking over for them, which is possible with John Blake, so that would also make sense why John Blake goes to be the next Batman or Robin.
Yeah, I know. People would say
that would make sense.
Yeah, Batman's come back. What the fuck?
Exactly. They could do that. There would be so many more implications with the movie that I feel would have really, really brought it out. And Bruce Wayne shouldn't have lived. Honestly, I don't think that added anything. I'm not done because this leads into my another problem I have with the Christopher Nolan universe. There's no mystery in it, man. The thing that really bugs me about Batman...
He's not a detective. He's not a detective.
Well, the Batman's always supposed to be a detective.
Yeah,
he appeared in the Detective Comics.
Yeah, that was his first appearance. No, what more I mean is that, look at the Tim Burton Batman movies, right? There's still so much mystery and atmosphere that is just built up in this universe that isn't portrayed through violence, more or less. It's just this aura of we don't really know what's going on. And
who is Batman?
Yeah, exactly.
And who is the Joker? What are their plans?
To a degree, but you get where I'm going with it.
I've been saying this. I've always thought that the Riddler would have been a really good villain because that would bring in more
Riddler is Neil Patrick Harris. Come on, we all really wanted to see that. Let's be.
When I thought they brought in Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I was like, that's Riddler.
Really? That makes sense.
The Riddler would have been. That's what I was saying.
Riddler would have been a cooler conclusion, and I think they could have.
That's what I'm saying. Of all villains, they choose Bane when they could have used some of the other ones.
Bane,
that would have been.
I
probably
think Bane
wasn't
a bad choice. I just feel Riddler would have been an interesting one. I don't know if it was the better one, but I could definitely say that both of them would have been good choices. I can't see one over the other. I can see both of them where they got them.
Yeah.
I can see the Riddler option being as good as the Bane one.
I could see that. Yeah, I could totally see that. I think the fact that Bane was the only villain. I mean, Dark Knight pulled off having two villains pretty well.
Batman Begins did the same thing. Yeah,
Scarecrow. Yeah, exactly.
I'm just throwing Poison Ivy in there.
No, we already saw Bane Poison Ivy. We all know about that. Do you remember the icicles on the door that just did this after they friggin' opened the door? Unbelievable. Yeah, we're not going to talk about Joel Schumacher, but... Oh, right, my point about the Christopher
Schumachery to the industry.
Or do you think just even throw the Penguin in there? Because, I mean, on the same lines, he terrorizes people.
I think Danny DeVito still should have been the Penguin, though, if they did that. Honestly, yeah.
Much older Penguin.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Like him in a wheelchair or something.
It's the guy who plays the Big Lebowski, too, in the wheelchair. And he just says...
He just comes in.
I'm gonna get your Bruce Wayne.
Welcome to Iceberg Lounge.
That would have been really cool. So now do you understand why I say Batman, The Dark Knight Rises, I don't think was a whole disappointment. I still think, don't get me wrong, Dark Knight was still better than it. It was better than Batman Begins, though. I don't give a shit what anyone says. It was still better than Batman Begins.
Dark Knight Rises?
Dark Knight Rises beats Batman Begins for sure.
I like Batman Begins. Dark Knight Rises.
I don't like the cinematography.
George, why are you over there? This is really weird.
It wasn't. No, because it was a debate at first, and then
it turned into a conversation.
We started empathizing with each other, and then we were like, "Oh yeah, no, it's cool. It's not this whole no, you're wrong, Batman." And then it turns out it's just I don't know. We kind of feel the same way about the movie. We're just on different levels with it.
I'm just surprised that one of your complaints, because me and Hudson have pointed this out in our Encore, is that how does Batman get out of the bat and carry the bomb off to a safe distance.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think Bruce Wayne, I still think that should have happened, but
He should have died, both of them.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, dude. That's why I think Bruce Wayne should have died. Like, I don't care if he dies as, like, wearing the Batman suit or anything, but I don't think the public should have known that Batman died. I think they should have just assumed that he got away, or, like they make some sort of announcement saying, like, he's still out there and whatnot. Like, I think they should have done that, but no, I think Bruce Wayne should have been fucking dead.
No, I'm just saying, like, he should have died in that blast. We were pointing out, like, how big the radius of the blast is, how he has to at least somehow get the bat to go in a certain direction before he can hop out.
It's never said that he has a bat boat or anything waiting out there. It's just
No.
Like, it's assumed that he uses the autopilot, but, like, to where would he
Wait,
get
at what
out?
point did he jump out?
See, I'm not...
Like, at what point did somebody just look with their binoculars staring and goes, what's that big black dot towards the ocean? Like,
Probably Batman just dying, whatever, sure. That's what he gets for sacrificing himself for the city, am I fucking right?
If he jumps in the ocean,
what a bitch.
if he jumps in the ocean, he's gonna swim. He won't be able to outrun the blast
He's
radius.
wearing a heavy suit.
I don't know, I don't really care.
Does he glide off or something? Like,
you're more or less
it's just a great area.
You're more or less agreeing with my point of what the ending should have been, so I'm not going to argue with you guys. I agree with all your points, but again, see, this is why I say mystery should be involved in Batman, because with the Christopher Nolan movies... No. Like, with the Christopher Nolan movies, everything's fucking defined. Everything, yep. No,
he's crazy, that's a mystery or something? I'm like,
I'm not saying...
It's like being a clue.
I don't see why this is a huge thing. It's a super...
defend it, Zach! Defend it!
It's like the ending's a clue. Everybody's happy that the mystery is solved, but nobody really gives a shit because everybody knew it'd be one thing or another. There's no real, like, twist ending or shock value in the end here. It's exactly what you got into the thing when you stepped at and you set up the board.
Tim Curry did it.
Tim Curry should have been Bane.
Oh, that would have been awesome. That would have been absolutely brilliant. So, alright, you enjoyed our debate. We kind of came to the conclusion, well, it's the last Christopher Nolan Batman movie. What'd you expect?